So I was having this really fun conversation yesterday with Mikhail from White Belt Wednesday, and he had put up this really great post about training with women and how um, women don't want to train with a lot of guys because they have no control over their bodies and they're rigid and they're hitting them all the time and stuff like that. And which I think, at a high level, like, you really should be able to control your body, right? Now we understand that, like, white belts, like, as white belts, like, you don't really know what you're doing, and we get that, and it's fine. It's really okay. I'm a brown belt, so rolling with white belts is no problem. It's kind of exciting because you really never know what they're gonna do. And for them, it's all imagination, which is really fun because I'm also an instructor. So, like, kind of seeing what people do naturally when they don't know what to do is really cool, and it kind of gives me a place to help them grow. Like, if they already do certain things naturally, I know where to add pieces to their jiu-jitsu to get them going. But it got real fun because on the Jiu-Jitsu Collective Instagram page, this guy decided to get in and pretty much, like, call Mikhail a simp. And, it's like, man, you're out here trying to be the white knight of jiu-jitsu, try to get girls to slide into your DMs. Like, it was just really awkward. Like, it was a really awkward attack. And I understand that, people troll. And to be honest, it drove traffic to the post. So I'm cool. I get it, I don't really take it personal, but it wasn't directed at me. It was directed at Mikhail, who, first off, if you're not following White Belt Wednesday, you need to go follow that page. Like, he's got a really creative mind. He trains really hard, and there are so many people that will tell you that he is great to train with, women included. Okay, so but it kept going to this really weird. The guy just kept making comments to people. People were like, one person, this is a really great comment. One person was like, hey, if you're a spazzy white belt, just say that. And I really loved that because his response was, I'm not a white belt. All right. And so that immediately told me that he was a blue belt. And of course, his profile is private, because that's how people are, right? They want to, they want to get on and they want to talk shit to you, but they don't want you to be able to know who they are. And I was getting a little irritated because having females in our sport, I think it's very important. I'm going to be honest and tell you that, so I'm 6'5", like 205. Yes, I want full-size men in the gym to train with, right? Because those are the guys that push me. Those are the guys that are stronger than me. Like, I got a handful of guys in my gym. They're just so much fucking stronger than me. They're more athletic than me. And so it makes everything really hard. And that's how I grow. That's one of the ways that I grow. But I'm gonna be honest, like, as a coach, watching children and women become savages on the mat, it's my favorite thing. There is nothing better than tiny assassins in the gym, right? You got big guys that are real good. People come visit, they're like, oh man, he's so big, he's so strong. You got smaller people in the gym assassinating people, and they're like, what's up? Like, that girl murdered me. How much does that dude weigh? What do you mean he's 115 pounds? Like, how old is he? 14? Why was it so scary to roll with him? I love that. It's super exciting. And coming from a time in my life where my mother and I were both physically abused, watching women be able to take care of themselves physically and fight back, I love that. I think everybody should have the power to defend themselves. And but one of the ways to keep women in the gym is, like, as a 200-pound man, if I'm, I'm grappling with a 120-pound female and I treat her the way that I would treat my 215-pound purple belt, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not coming back. You know what I'm saying? And then I feel responsible for the fact that she left, that she won't grow in her jiu-jitsu, that she won't become that savage that she can be. Like, I take that personal. So learning to train with women and children, like being able to roll with people half your size is incredibly important and really good for your jiu-jitsu. Okay. So that's how I feel about training with women. But let's go back to Mr. I want to run my mouth and hide behind my private profile. Like I said, it's common, people like to troll, not really upset about it, just don't like the dynamic of that particular shit when it comes to training with women. Because it makes them sound like the guy that doesn't belong in the gym. It makes them sound like the creep that hit on some chick in the gym, got shot down, and now he's bitter about it. And honestly, like, I understand, like, we want to date people that have similar hobbies, right? Like, things in common, like, that's super beneficial for relationships. But, like, dude, don't hit on every chick that comes in your gym. Jeez, like, they're partners, they're teammates. Like, treat them as such, right? Get good training with them. Now, also, if you don't want to train with women, don't. I'm cool for that. I think that women have the right to pick and choose who they train with. I think as males, you should be able to do the same thing. I've trained at gyms where there were certain guys that, like, I just didn't want to train with, like, for whatever reason. I did learn that if I communicated why I didn't like training with them, that it kind of changed the dynamic, and all of a sudden I had better training partners. So communication in all aspects of life is super beneficial. But let's go back. So I'm finally a little irritated. And I'll be honest, like, I hadn't been involved in the thread of comments, right? But his profile photo showed a little piece of the gym's logo. And I'm not gonna out the logo on here. But I found him in like 2 minutes with a Google search. And then I found that gym's Instagram, and I found him. I was right. He's a blue belt. And I found his coach, and I put a comment on, and to the thread, I say, hey man, is this your personal opinion, or does it carry the weight of, and I tagged his coach and I tagged his gym. 10 minutes later, the entire thread was down, the thread was down, which is fine. Right. I'm sure he woke up, shit himself, and removed it. And if you're watching this, I'm laughing at you. But he was a blue belt. And what I want to talk about is when I talked to Mikhail about what had happened, we both, started laughing because we both used the same statement. Like, blue belts are the worst. And obviously I don't mean all blue belts because, I'm not going to do that to people. Like, not all blue belts are terrible. Like, I don't have a problem with my blue belts. And I've been to other gyms where I don't have a problem with their blue belts. But I will say this. The comments that get left on jiu-jitsu techniques about how things, that wouldn't work. You did that wrong. So, yes, some of those come from people that don't train at all, right? And they're just showing their ignorance. But when you start telling people that you're doing the technique wrong, usually it's coming from blue belts. Because blue belts believe that how they know how to do it is the best way to do it. Now, there's a part of that I love. I love that they respect their instructor so much. They think that dude is the king of technique. And there's some healthy and unhealthy aspects of that, right? But having faith in your instructor, I think, is really important. So I don't completely hate that. But blue belts to me are like preteens. They're that 12 to 15-year-old range, and they're like, I'm not a kid anymore. I know what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I hear in my head. And, it's not they just think that the way they know how to do things is the only way to do things. And they're also the ones that are getting on, social media posts telling people they're doing things wrong. And we know it's the blue belts because purple belts and brown belts and black belts are not doing that for a multitude of reasons. One, they're too busy training. Two, they've learned that there are so many ways to do the same thing. So many ways to do the same thing. I'm probably a better student now as a brown belt than I was as a blue belt. And don't get me wrong, I was a dumb blue belt all the time. Like I thought I knew shit. Like you think you know shit. And you just are learning how to play the game. Like you're not good yet. And that's not actually the case for all blue belts. Let me be very specific. I've seen savage blue belts. I remember Roberto Jimenez back when he was a blue belt in Texas still. And I was watching that kid wreck people. You know what I'm saying? He still wrecks people. That dude's a savage and incredibly polite and nice. My interaction with him was fantastic. Like Cole Abate, savage at blue belt. Congratulations, Cole Abate, on your current wins. Can't wait to see you in ADCC and Jimenez in ADCC. Man, I'm so excited for ADCC, but that's not the topic. So, but your hobbyist blue belts, you guys, you need to chill out because you just don't know as much as you think you do. And we love that you're here. We love that you're training. We need you. You're the guys that like, when you get at a higher level, like you got to practice on blue belts because blue belts are tough. They're out there trying to get it. They're out there trying to prove something. They know how to play. You know what I'm saying? You can't slip up on blue belts. They'll catch you. You know what I mean? Like, so this isn't an attack on all blue belts, but for real, blue belts are the worst sometimes. And what I can offer to you as somebody who's already been a blue belt and had my moments of being a shitty blue belt is shut the fuck up. Train. Ask questions. Stop thinking that everything that you know how to do is like the end all, because if there was a perfect technique, there wouldn't be very many jiu-jitsu schools. If there was one way to do things, if I could teach you the secret sauce, give you that one move, why would you train with me after you learn the move? So there's not one way to do anything. There's hundreds and thousands of ways to get the same finish, to get the same thing. We're all going to do it a little differently. And the reason is because we're all built differently. We all have different flexibility and different athletic skills. You know, I do things that some people can't do. I'm 6'5", but certain small people, we've all trained with that dude who's got like the no neck and the short arms and the short legs, like, and he's stocky, so he's got a great base, and you can't sweep him, but you can't leg lock him because his legs are too short, and you can't arm bar him because I can't close off the space, like, or I can't choke him because his neck doesn't exist. Like, everybody comes with certain attributes when they start training. And so blue belts, like, don't hide behind your private profile. If you're gonna come run your mouth, let us know who you are. But also, more importantly, make sure that you're not putting out a persona that would negatively put negative views on your gym, because the truth is this dude's coach, I've never heard anything negative about this dude ever. This affiliation, I know people in this affiliation. I've never heard nothing but positive things. And these dudes are savages. But man, when you get online and you start running your mouth about women, and how they should be treated on the mat, and how men should, talk about, training with women, like, you sound stupid. Really stupid. And this particular dude, it's not hard to get on Mikhail's Instagram and find out he's a brown belt. So like, when you're a blue belt trying to tell a brown belt he doesn't know what he's talking about, you sound stupid. Like, for real. He's a brown belt for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, I've been grappling for 14 years. And I have heard some of the stupidest shit come out of like white belts and blue belts' mouths. like you know what you're talking about. Like, or instead of like offering information to me, trying to tell me that I'm doing shit wrong and correct me. Like, it's the weirdest shit ever. Like, now, if you show me the technique and it's what you learned and it's good, I'm gonna 100% be like, that's dope. I need to play with that, or I like that, or I need to add it, to my game. But to come at me like I'm wrong, like I haven't been using the technique for years, is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous. There are just so many different ways to do things. So that's kind of my thoughts on why in jiu-jitsu we kind of bash on blue belts. I mean, aside from the fact that you guys have the highest dropout rate in jiu-jitsu, you think you know everything. You like to coach people, and I do see the benefits of teaching, but aside from very rare situations like blue belts, I think you should avoid teaching, and I think you should concentrate on training. And then as a purple belt, start looking to teach. Like your goal as a blue belt is just to get better, not help somebody else get better, unless it's like your training partners. But don't stop people during a roll and coach them on how to finish the technique so that they don't actually finish you. Blue belts should be smashing people. Blue belt, you want your purple belt? Smash blue belts. Smash white belts. Don't talk to them. Smash them. That's how that works. So I think that's all I really got to say about that. Shout out to White Belt Wednesday, and fuck blue belts.